Hey there, nerd fighters! Today we're diving deep into a fascinating comparison of living standards, the United States of America versus India. These two countries, both vibrant democracies with incredible diversity, offer strikingly different experiences for their citizens. From bustling cities to rural landscapes, the cost of living, access to education and healthcare, and even cultural experiences can vary dramatically. Get ready to explore the USA versus India living standards showdown. Let's talk money, shall we? The cost of living is a major factor in determining where people choose to live and the quality of life they experience. In the US, we see a higher cost of living overall. Think about it. Housing in major cities like New York or San Francisco can be astronomically expensive. Groceries, utilities, and transportation all add up. Now, India, on the other hand, generally boasts a lower cost of living, particularly in terms of housing, food, and everyday expenses. You can find delicious street food for a fraction of what you'd pay in the US, and rent in many cities is significantly more affordable. However, it's important to remember that salaries also tend to be lower in India. It's all a balancing act. Okay, let's talk healthcare, a topic near and dear to my heart, and probably yours too, because health is important. The US and India have vastly different healthcare systems, each with its own set of advantages and disadvantages. In the US, we have a predominantly private healthcare system. While this offers more choice in terms of doctors and treatments, it can be incredibly expensive. Without insurance, medical bills can be crippling. India, on the other hand, has a mixed system with both public and private healthcare options. Public healthcare is often more affordable, but it can come with longer wait times and limited access to specialized treatments. The debate around healthcare is complex and multifaceted. Education, my friends, is the foundation for a brighter future. Both the US and India place a strong emphasis on education, but the systems and accessibility differ significantly. The US boasts a robust public education system, with free education from kindergarten through high school. However, the quality of public education can vary greatly depending on location and funding. Higher education in the US is world-renowned, but it's also notoriously expensive. India, with its vast population, faces the challenge of providing quality education to all. While primary and secondary education is free and compulsory, the quality of education can be inconsistent, particularly in rural areas. Higher education in India is more affordable than in the US, but competition for spots in top universities is fierce. Alright, let's talk about jobs, the things we do to, hopefully, find fulfillment and pay the bills. The US and India have very different job markets shaped by their respective economies and industries. The US has a highly developed economy with a strong emphasis on technology, finance, and services. This creates a lot of high-paying job opportunities, but competition can be fierce. India, on the other hand, is known for its burgeoning IT sector and outsourcing industry. While this has created a significant number of jobs, wages tend to be lower than in the US. However, India's economy is rapidly growing, and new opportunities are emerging in various sectors. Ultimately, the best place to work depends on your individual skills, career aspirations, and lifestyle preferences. Finding a place to call home is a fundamental human need, but the housing markets in the US and India offer vastly different experiences. In the US, homeownership is often seen as a marker of success, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to achieve, especially for younger generations. The cost of housing, particularly in desirable urban areas, has skyrocketed in recent years. Rent is also expensive in many cities, putting a strain on budgets. In India, the housing market is more complex. In major cities, you'll find modern apartments and gated communities, but these come at a premium. Many people in India live in multi-generational households or in more affordable housing options that might not meet Western standards. Whether you're dreaming of a spacious suburban home in the US, or a bustling apartment in the heart of Mumbai, the housing market in each country presents its own set of challenges and opportunities. Alright, let's hit the road or the rails or the skies and talk about transportation. Getting around is an essential part of daily life, and the US and India offer vastly different transportation landscapes. In the US, car culture reigns supreme. Having a car is often seen as a necessity, especially in suburban and rural areas where public transportation is limited. However, this reliance on cars contributes to traffic congestion and air pollution. Major cities do have public transportation systems, but their quality and reach can vary. India, on the other hand, has a more diverse transportation ecosystem. Public transportation, particularly trains and buses, is widely used and relatively affordable. Rickshaws and auto rickshaws are ubiquitous in cities, providing a quick and nimble way to navigate busy streets. Let's face it, the environment is kind of important. We need clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and a healthy planet to live on. The US and India face different environmental challenges, shaped by their levels of development and population density. In the US, we see concerns about air and water pollution, particularly in major cities and industrial areas. Climate change is a growing concern, with more extreme weather events and rising sea levels. On the positive side, there's a growing awareness of environmental issues, and efforts are being made to promote sustainability. India, with its massive population, faces significant environmental challenges. Air pollution in major cities like Delhi can reach hazardous levels, particularly during winter months. However, India is also making strides in renewable energy, particularly solar power. Alright, let's talk about something fun: culture. The US and India are incredibly diverse countries with rich and vibrant cultural traditions. From music and dance to food and festivals, there's something for everyone. In the US, we have a melting pot of cultures which is reflected in our art, music, and cuisine. We're known for Hollywood movies, Broadway shows, and iconic music genres like jazz, rock, and hip-hop. India, with its ancient history and diverse regional traditions, offers a sensory overload of cultural experiences. Bollywood movies, with their catchy songs and elaborate dance numbers, are a global phenomenon. Classical Indian dance forms like Bharatanatyam and Kathakali are mesmerizing to watch. And let's not forget the food. From spicy curries to sweet gulab jamun, Indian cuisine is a delicious adventure for your taste buds. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room: safety. Feeling safe and secure is essential for our well-being, and the US and India have different safety profiles. In the US, crime rates have actually been declining in recent decades, but certain types of crime, like gun violence, remain a serious concern. The perception of safety can vary greatly depending on where you live, with larger cities often perceived as more dangerous than smaller towns. India, with its vast population and socio-economic disparities, faces its own set of safety challenges. Petty crime like pickpocketing and scams can be common in tourist areas. Women's safety is a major concern, with high rates of sexual harassment and violence. Ultimately, staying safe requires awareness, common sense, and respecting local customs. So we've explored a lot of factors that contribute to living standards, but what about the bigger picture quality of life? How do people in the US and India experience happiness, well-being, and overall satisfaction with their lives? The US consistently ranks high on these indices, often cited for its economic prosperity, individual freedoms, and opportunities for self-fulfillment. However, the US also grapples with issues like income inequality, social isolation, and a pressure to achieve success. India, despite facing challenges like poverty and inequality, also scores relatively high on happiness indices. This might seem surprising, but it speaks to the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of cultural factors that promote happiness, such as strong family and community ties, spirituality, and a focus on contentment. One thing that struck me about India was the pace of life. People take the time to connect with each other, to savor a cup of chai, and to appreciate the simple things. So there you have it, nerd fighters, a glimpse into the fascinating and complex realities of living in the US and India. We've explored the cost of living, healthcare, education, job opportunities, and so much more. It's clear that there's no easy answer to the question of which country is better to live in. It all depends on your individual priorities, values, and aspirations.